This is Jarrod Horak for the runawayhorse.com, and this is my 2020 Belmont Stakes video. Now, it's a little bit different this year. Due to the coronavirus pandemic, the Belmont Stakes is now the first leg of the Triple Crown Series on June 20th, Saturday, June 20th. And then the Kentucky Derby isn't going to be run till the first Saturday in September. And then Pimlico is going to run the Preakness Stakes, the final leg of the Triple Crown, early in October. So the Triple Crown's more spread out this year, different distances as well. The Belmont Stakes typically run at 1.5 miles. It was supposed to be originally run on June 6th. It's now run on June 20th, and it's going to be 1.125 miles. And it seems like we have a fairly competitive field if you can get past the favorite Tiz the Law. He's obviously a solid contender, but there are others with the ability to jump forward and maybe pull off the upset. Let's meet the field. Number 1 is Tap It to Win. He's 6-1 morning line. He's probably going to try to go to the front from the inside post. He won both of his starts this year. He stretched out in distance at Belmont Park at 1.16 miles last time against entry-level allowance foes, and he easily wired the field, earning a good speed figure. The 2, Volante, he's 9-2 morning line. He's run 6 times in his career with 4 wins, a second and a third. He does his best running in the stretch. He owns the best late pace ratings, and look for him to be motoring late. He definitely needs pace help. The 3, Max Player, he's 15-1 morning line for trainer Linda Rice. He's only run 3 times in his career with 2 wins and a second. He was a close second in his career debut. Then he broke his maiden at Parks in the slop second time out. And then they stretched him out to 1 mile and an eighth in the Grade 3 Withers on February 1st. And as my top choice there at 5-1, he was able to rally and get the job done. So Max Player needs to improve again. He's lightly raced and he's got some upside. Number 4, Modernist. He's 15-1 morning line for trainer Bill Mott. He's run 5 times in his career with 2 wins and 2 third-place finishes. He went from, just like Max Player, he went from maiden winner to graded winner, and his graded win was in the Risen Star Stakes at Fairgrounds in February, and then in the Louisiana Derby last time, he stalked the pace from post 14, and he finished an even third. The 5, Farmington Road, he's 15-1, one of 2 runners for trainer Todd Pletcher. Farmington Road does his best running in the stretch, just like Volante, but that one has better late pace ratings, but he's got some ability. He rallied to finish 4th in one of the divisions of the Risen Star Stakes from post 10, and then from post 12 he finished 2nd, beaten a half length in the Oaklawn Stakes. Then in the Arkansas Derby he made a middle move from an outer post, and he finished an even 4th. He's going to have to improve. The 6, Fore left, he's 30-1 morning line for trainer Doug O'Neill. He wants to be up on the pace in here. They shipped him to Dubai last time in a grade 3 race at 1 mile. He was able to get out there and control the pace against 15 rivals. Now, a lot of times you get those Dubai races, the U.S. horses just are quicker, and I think that was the case there. But with Tap It to Win from the inside post, 4 left is really going to have to hustle if he expects to get in front of that one. The 7, Jungle Runner, 50-1 for trainer Steve Asmussen. He hasn't done well recently. Earlier in his career, he was pretty good at Remington Park, winning a couple races, including a little stakes race last year. Then in his last 4 starts against Stakes Company, he really hasn't been a threat. It would be a big surprise if he would get the job done. The 8, Tiz the Law, is your 6-5 morning line favorite for trainer Barkley Tagg. He hasn't done much wrong in his career. 5 starts, 4 wins, and a 3rd place finish. He was at close 3rd in the Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes last year. At Belmont Park in his 2nd career start, he won the Champagne Stakes, a grade 1, last October very easily. And then back-to-back wins in the Holy Bull and Florida Derby, tracking the pace at Gulfstream Park earlier this year. Looked really good in both of those races. And he's going to probably set another good trip here. He's just not going to offer a lot of value. The 2nd entrant for trainer Todd Pletcher, number 9, Dr. Post. This one is lightly raced. In his career debut last year in a sprint race last July, he finished 4th, but he was really good in both starts this year at Gulfstream Park. He resurfaced in a 7-furlong maiden race from post 12, stalked the pace, won nicely, earned a strong speed figure, stepped right into Stakes Company, the Unbridled Stakes. He had an uncomfortable trip, but he overcame that and he won anyway at 1.16 miles. Now this is his longest test yet, his toughest test, but he has a lot of upside. And finally, number 10, Pneumatic for trainer Steve Asmussen. This one, Ricardo Santana Jr. is going to ride back. He was 3rd as my top choice in the Matt Wynn Stakes last time out. The pace wasn't quick. He was up on that pace, but Maxfield was too good in the late going, and New York Traffic and Pneumatic were on the pace together, and New York Traffic ended up finishing in front of Pneumatic that day. He's going to have to run better. Now, looking at some of the top contenders in here, Volante, I said the 2-horse, he's your best late runner. I think he's got a shot if the pace melts down. I'm not sure that that's going to happen, but he's going to be finishing, and he's got those strong late pace ratings. And if the track's playing fair, we know he can probably get the distance, and he will be one of the fastest finishers in this race. Max Player, he's the 3. As I said, he's been improving for trainer Linda Rice. He's been part of my Kentucky Derby 2020 list for quite some time. And if you go over to the runawayhorse.com, you can read my Kentucky Derby 2020 blogs. I'll have a link provided in this video, in the description in this video, if you're interested in reading my Kentucky Derby 2020 blogs. But Max Player has been up on my list for quite some time, and he's one that I think he could jump up, and he has upside. With only 3 starts, he could run faster. The 8, Tiz the Law, certainly the one to beat. He was really good over the winter at Gulfstream Park. He's got tactical speed. He hasn't run in a while. The biggest question with him is how much has he improved from earlier this winter now to we're in almost coming up to the second half of the year. Originally, if their Triple Crown was run in its original dates, it would have already been over. So we'll have to see if he's still as good as he was in the winter. He still may be as good as he was in the winter, and if he doesn't run much faster, some others in here are definitely capable of running faster, including the 1, Tap It to Win. As I said, he's 6-1. He did show promise last year in a couple sprint races to begin his career. And I always start my Kentucky Derby list of September of the 2-year-old seasons, and Tap It to Win was on my original Derby list when I started it last September. Then I dropped him off the list after he disappointed in a couple of stakes races. Then he came back this year with back-to-back wins, a sprint win at Gulfstream followed by a strong mile and a 16th win at Belmont Park. He dominated that race throughout. I think if he can get out there and do exactly what he did last time, if he gets to the front and the track's favoring speed at all, and he's able to open up 2 or 3 lengths, he could be very interesting in this race. Now, Belmont Stakes fact for trainer Mark Casse, the trainer of Tap It to Win. Mark Casse, he saddled the winners of the last 2 Triple Crown races, last year's Preakness Stakes with War of Will, last year's Belmont Stakes with Sir Winston. Now, John Velasquez is going to ride Tap It to Win, and John Velasquez has won the Belmont Stakes 2 times. Now, he's my second choice, but my top choice in here is going to be the 9, Dr. Post. He's 5-1 morning line for trainer Todd Pletcher, and I think the key is like he's drawn right outside of Tiz the Law, and he has tactical speed as well. So I think most likely Dr. Post is going to break from the gate, and if he breaks well, he's probably going to try to follow Tiz the Law and stay just outside of that one. And when that one makes a move, he's probably going to try to make a move as well. And that kind of trip could end up working out in a race like this. Now, again, I like his tactical speed. He was sharp in both of his victories over the winter at Gulfstream Park. Now, as I said, he stretched out last time, didn't have the greatest trip, but he won the Unbridled Stakes anyway. And then since then, he's been training well for this race. Now, Todd Pletcher's the trainer here. He's lightly raced. He has upside. And Todd Pletcher, for a Belmont Stakes fact, Todd Pletcher has captured the Belmont Stakes 3 times. Jose Ortiz Jr. is the rider of Dr. Post, and he guided home Creator in the 2016 Belmont Stakes. Now, obviously, the Belmont Stakes is at a shorter distance this year, and we'll have to see how that plays out with stat-wise. But at least if you're looking at the jockey trainer stats, we know that certain trainers do well in races like the Belmont. As I mentioned, Todd Pletcher has won it 3 times. So he's got a horse here that looks like he has some upside. So obviously, Tiz the Law is the one to beat. But looking for value and horses that have the ability, that are lightly raced with at least some tactical speed, that could run faster. Obviously, Dr. Post is one of those. With so lightly raced, he has probably a bigger race in him and a faster race. So he's one that certainly could run better. As I mentioned, Tap It to Win, another upsetter in this race because he could wire the field, and his speed figures as a 3-year-old were much better than as a 2-year-old. So those are 2 horses that are probably most likely to upset Tiz the Law if he is to be upset. Max Player would be the 3rd one because he's lightly raced, and I've always liked him, and he's going to probably get better as the year goes on. Volante probably likely to at least hit the board. If you're looking for maybe another long shot underneath, Farmington Road could end up finishing 3rd or 4th. But I think that those are their main contenders. So Dr. Post, my top choice. Tap It to Win, the second most likely upsetter. Tiz the Law, as the most likely winner as your favorite, and then Max Player, my live long shot. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, make some comments in the comment section. Who do you like in the 2020 Belmont Stakes? Go over to the runawayhorse.com if you're interested in my full card from Belmont Park for Belmont Stakes Day. I also sell full cards from Santa Anita Park. I'll have the link provided in the description. Free picks on my California page at the Runaway Horse for stakes races. Free picks on my Belmont page, as well on my New York page from Belmont Park. All of those links will be provided in the description in this video. And next week I'll be back. I'll recap the Belmont Stakes and catch up on any other Kentucky Derby 2020 news. Until then, good luck in the races and good luck in the Belmont Stakes.